Keys to life, unlocking the laws of the universe, practical, down-to-earth methods for a better life. This book is dedicated for all those whose lives have been spent in bringing peace to this planet. Wherever you are, we bow our heads. May peace be on this earth. We are all united with the thread of love. May each one of us realize the garden of life. Introduction. Allah, by definition in this book, is like guidelines for divine qualities that exist, that if you are in harmony with them, the quality of your life in all areas will improve. This life is a grand adventure. We are so fortunate and lucky to be alive. There's so much to be grateful for, regardless of our circumstances. We all possess inside of our very own essence the keys to life and the unfolding of its vast mysteries. Did you know that contained within your DNA, the knowledge and wisdom of the entire universe resides? Each of us is a unique gift from God. We are all so different, yet the essence is the same. This book will hopefully begin to unlock the great mysteries that lie within your very own essence. Your true essence is infinite love, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, patience, and happiness. These qualities are life, or the building blocks of the entire universe in the seen and unseen world. Beyond all dimensions, beyond time and space, these divine qualities exist. You could say that love is the foundation of all life. Look at the diverse world we live in. Look at how incredible nature is. We don't just have one kind of apple, but there are literally thousands of different kinds of apples. Look at how diverse the planet is. It really is a gift from God. Behind all creation lies the power of life. Everything is alive. Everything is aware. Yet do we have the eyes to see this? Behind the power of life is the power of infinite love, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, patience, and happiness. These are just a few of the divine qualities that make up the universe, the sun, the moon, and the stars. Every little living thing in this world has these divine qualities. These qualities of infinite love, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, patience, and happiness are infused with life itself. The whole of creation is infused with these divine qualities. Look at the innocence of a newborn baby. The newborn directly reflects those qualities. Yet, unfortunately, as we grow older, we forget and lose these precious gifts of life. We get so preoccupied with our 9-to-5 existence that we forget about how incredible it is to be alive. We forget that our very own essence is infinite love, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, patience, and happiness. This is our true nature. It doesn't matter if you believe in God or not. Your essence is love. You are hardwired with love. Every single cell of your body is love. Love is the intelligence behind all life. Love is the power that creates the sun, the moon, and the stars. Love is the power that keeps you alive. These are not just some emotional qualities that man created. These are divine qualities that are infinite, beyond time and space, is, was, and will always be. These divine qualities are the building blocks and foundation for all life, for all creation. This is our true nature. In essence, we are infinite love, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, patience, and happiness. So the question is, where is it? Why have we forgotten our true nature? Where is our true happiness and love? Why is my life not going in the direction I hope and dream for? These are questions to ask yourself. At times, we live our life at a totally unconscious level. We go through this life struggling and reacting to the winds of change that blow all around. We go around complaining about life, complaining how we have a bad deck of cards dealt to us. We are, at times, like the leaves blowing in the wind. In this state of mind, we are reactive beings. This has been man's path for thousands of years. Living in this condition, we have wars, nations are separate, and we fight for our own existence. We can't see the common denominator, the thread of love tying us all together. Our relationships and the way we treat each other in this world is not much to be desired. We need to understand that there's another way to exist. There's another way to be and behave. This life we have is so incredible, yet we are barely skimming the surface. We live most of the time unconscious. We have forgotten that there is a diamond that lies within the vast ocean of love inside of your being. This diamond is your very own essence. It is life itself. It is keeping you alive. This is what all religions talk about. The kingdom of heaven lies within. The entire treasure chest of the whole universe is contained inside of your being. In fact, you are the universe. You will always be. You can never die. Your essence is the building blocks of all creations. You have simply forgotten. It is time to wake up from your nap. It's time to realize that you can change and that all you have to do is wake up to your incredible essence. You are already enlightened. You just simply aren't aware of it. Your nature is divine. You are good, but at times you have always reflected. This book is about discovering your true nature and taking over the reins of your life. You are meant to be a co-creator. You are designed to bring all of your divine qualities to life. You are meant to be a direct reflection of God. You are meant to be divine. In fact, this is what the word human means. Hu means divine. Man means mind. For the majority of mankind, we live only and are aware of our conscious mind. A true human lives and knows how to integrate the mind and heart together. There is no separation and distance between the two. A true human realizes that the unconscious mind is truly the main driver in life. Scientists have already realized that the unconscious mind is the force behind everything. It literally drives your life. Your external life is a reflection of your unconscious mind. In order to change anything, we must change our unconscious mind. Since the day you were born, you have begun to program your life. Every event and circumstance in your life, you have learned how to program. You have learned how to adapt. Yet over time, we have forgotten that we are the source code of life. We have forgotten that our subconscious mind is truly in charge and directs the outcomes in our life. We think that we truly can't have what we dream for. We think that we can't be truly in charge of our life and direct it. what we truly desire. This is the state that we are in. We have forgotten that we hold the keys to life. We use these keys to unlock the doors within and discover that we can turn our life around. We can experience that the mysteries of life exist inside and our very own essence. In that state we call empowerment. We are the sun, the moon, and the stars, and are walking around in a human body complaining about life. We have lost touch of who we are. This is your true nature. Can you imagine how incredible your life would be if you could truly discover your true essence? Your life would totally change. The world as we know it would change. Peace could be on this planet. This is not a fantasy. This is reality. Yet we have simply forgotten who we truly are. It doesn't matter if you are a saint or a sinner. The essence of your being is the same. This book is about rediscovering your true nature. This absolute good is infinite love, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, patience, and happiness. These are not just words, but are like the sun's rays. Each day we experience the warmth of the sun. The rays of the sun bring life to this planet. If and when the sun dies, our planet won't be alive. The entire universe contains rays of infinite love, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, patience, and happiness. These are the building blocks behind all life. Imagine that the sun in the sky contains these divine qualities. You also contain these same qualities. This is your true nature. Throughout the ages, people talk about how incredible you are, yet at times we haven't listened. We haven't seen how incredible our life could be if we could become one with all of life. Maybe we haven't even thought about it. Maybe we go to church on Sunday and pay our respects to God for 1 hour and leave it at that. Yet each one of us is truly divine in nature. I hope this book will help you to unlock the great mysteries within. I hope that you begin to unlock your own doors of existence. Nobody can unlock your doors, only you can. Yet we can provide inspiration and guidance for you. This is what life is all about. Once we have begun to open our inner doors, we love to help others open their doors. One realizes that giving is our true nature. It's like an apple tree. An apple tree does not hoard its fruit. It freely gives to all. This is its nature. This is our true nature. At times we are so preoccupied with our own existence that we have become self-centered and egotistical. We think that the whole universe revolves around us. This is how a human being, family, community, state, nation, and world can act. We have seen what unfortunate outcomes this has brought us. This book is about discovering another way. It's about discovering your true nature. It's about discovering how incredible and beautiful you are. You are a gift from God. How incredible will be the day when your life correctly reflects this. This book is about how to use these universal laws for your own personal growth and development. By understanding these laws and applying these laws, your life will be enhanced. These laws are universal, yet for most of us, we have forgotten them. Hopefully, this book will help you to wake up from your slumber and help you to recognize how precious you are. These laws aren't some kind of rigid code that you live by. Life is not rigid. Life is constantly changing and evolving. By being in tune with these laws, your life will change, and you will see the beauty behind all. Each and every day is an opportunity to grow. These sacred laws encompass all areas of our life. By using them and being in harmony with them, you will see how incredible they truly are. The answers exist inside of you. This book, hopefully, will help you to be aware of these universal laws in your own life. By being aware and making small changes day in and day out, your seed will grow. This book was originally going to be something else. I started to think about what I was going to write about it morphed into something else. I had a flash inside that I realized that my book topic was to talk about the laws of the universe and how these laws can help us in our daily life. The more one practices these laws, the more one becomes truly free and is empowered with life itself. Our goal is to become fully aware of this incredible life force energy of love, which is keeping everything alive. All the tools exist inside of you. Your body is hardwired for this experience. Now's the time to take small baby steps, day by day in your life. Each and every moment in your life is special. Your dreams can come true. You can learn about these laws and implement them in your daily life. No matter what situation you are in, nobody controls your mind. You will learn how to reprogram yourself for the better. These are exciting times. We truly live in a global village. The secret to life are being open to all. Each one of us has the opportunity to grow. The tools are there. Now we just need to use them. So I sincerely hope that this book will help you in your adventures in life. I hope that you can see that these laws can truly help you and will benefit you in all areas. The more you pay attention and the more aware you are, you will see tremendous changes. They are very subtle, yet over time, you will look back and say, wow, I have come so far. The small baby steps that we take each and every day truly do carry us to our destination. So don't think this is a huge effort that you have to take. Be gentle on yourself. Have you ever dialed in to the source of your life? Have you felt like you had a conversation with your Creator? How would you like to phone your Creator? What would you say? From time immemorial, we have been hardwired for a direct connection to God. You don't even need an operator. God lives inside your heart. You are the temple of God. No temple on this planet is as magnificent as you are. The Creator hides inside of you. The phone has been ringing since you birth. Pick up the phone. There are no collect calls. This call is the most important of your life. Please tell Susie or John that I'll call you back. I've been waiting for this call all my life. Hello? Words cannot describe the joy inside. Direct communication to the heart. Your heart is filled with love. An apple falls from the tree. Truth lies within your heart. The secret of the universe exists inside. Open up the doors within, and you will discover who you truly are. The wise man says, ponder this over and over again. You will discover your true nature. The essence of the Kabbalah. For thousands of years, the Jewish culture has studied the mystical Kabbalah. Kabbalah means to receive. The rules back then were quite restrictive for their time. Women were not allowed to study it. You had to be at least 40 years old. It was a tradition that was very sacred. Very few of the Jewish studied it. Most of the Jewish people and the world at large thought it was extremely dangerous to study. I'm sure because it was quite sacred that it was kept underground for thousands of years. Most sacred knowledge had to be kept secret due to the various political and religious climates of the time. Millions of people have died due to their beliefs known by other men. Fortunately, about 120 years ago, much of the sacred wisdom of the past began to surface. During the 1800s in England, Germany, and France, there was a series of mystery schools opening, and somehow members got trained by the Jewish Kabbalah master teachers. Sacred documents and texts from the past began to open up. The Kabbalah began to be open to the common person. The rules and restrictions were lifted. Yet, it still took around the 1960s for some Jewish people to open their doors. The Kabbalah Center was one of the first to open its doors to everyone, regardless of their religion or non-religion. To many Jews, this still causes a certain amount of controversy, but today it's quite common to have the Jewish temple teach the Kabbalah. Even our small town, the Jewish temple in Ashland, Oregon, has a series of courses on it. I have a friend from Michigan who is female, who is taught the Jewish rabbi. Times have changed, and the doors are open, and the various barriers are being removed. So why are so many people getting involved? We hear that even Madonna has been studying it for over 12 years. All of a sudden, there's a lot of interest in the sacred wisdom. There are a lot of books being written on this. The Kabbalah is quite sophisticated and simple at the same time. I have acquaintances that have been spent years studying it for several hours a day, and they are very intellectual about it. It can be quite a challenging talking to them because it's quite complicated, yet there's a simple essence to it. Kabbalah means to receive. You might ask yourself, receive what? The Kabbalah is a systematic way to receive wisdom to totally transform your life. It is the study of life. The Kabbalah studies the essence of life and the various building blocks. It is a very practical tool. It is used to enhance every single aspect of your life. The Kabbalah is the study of the tree of life. A tree is a symbol that represents heaven and earth being united. The roots of the tree represent the earth, while the branches represent the heavens. But in fact, it is a tree encompassing both qualities of heaven and earth. There is a famous Kabbalah axiom which says, as above, so below. As below, so above. This is the melting pot of life. The Kabbalah teaches that we are divine in nature. We represent the very essence of light. Yet we have forgotten. The goal of the person who studies the Kabbalah is to rediscover the divine opportunities that already exist inside of their being. It's opening up the door within. By opening up the doors on an everyday basis, one life begins to change. A person begins to transform and becomes a better person. You could say that the person over time becomes divine. The heart is filled with kindness, compassion, and love for all sentient beings. As I mentioned that the Kabbalah is the study of the tree of life, a person who is learning for the first time takes the first step and begins the journey where they are. The journey begins from earth and ends in heaven. Yet for that person who studies the Kabbalah, called a Kabbalist, one realizes over time that heaven and earth is the same. We have simply forgotten. There are 10 sephira on the tree. Each sephira is different and unique and carries the full awareness of each of the 10. Imagine 10 different universes, each one different and unique, but each one has a thread tying them all together, maybe much like the modern day. Physicists with the string theory concept, each sephira has divine qualities and gifts for the person who studies it. Carl Jung studied archetype symbols for most of his life. He discovered that these symbols help to unlock the unconscious mind. Each symbol has a specific code to open more of the unconscious mind and to enhance one's life. The Kabbalah does the same thing. By paying attention to each sephira and study and focusing on each symbol and divine aspect of the sephira, one's unconscious mind begins to reprogram itself and one's life starts changing for the better. Each sephira has an archangel and the name of God associated with each one. By paying attention to these, the unconscious mind begins to change on its own. In the past, a person would study each sephira for 1 year, so it would take 10 years just to complete one cycle of going up the tree. Afterwards, there are 22 pathways one's journey on. This could take up to 22 years. I was taught to start at the first sephira and spend a month at each one. During the year-long process, one's life began to change quite dramatically. I think the more you pay attention to your life and the direction it is going, the more you will be in sync with life. Life will be quite exciting and rewarding. It won't be boring. This is what the Kabbalah is all about. It's about taking over the reins of your life and taking the various steps to enhance it in every area of your life. It makes you a better human being. The law of creation. 4 worlds of creation. What I really like about the Kabbalah is that it is quite practical. It describes the laws of creation in very simple terms. The whole universe contains the step-by-step process. Suppose you woke up one morning and an idea popped into your head. I would like to build a house for my family. This is the idea. From that idea, you begin to think about it and dream about your house. This is the thought. From your thought, you begin to plan. How are you going to build your house? Where do I get a loan? You hire an architect. The architect designs a plan exactly, putting down in a drawing your house. Every room contains exact specifications and dimensions. It is a blueprint that the builder will use to build your house. Finally, the builders come and they build a house in a few months. Now, according to the Kabbalah, each phase, the idea, the thought, the plan, and the action is a whole different world. Yet each world builds on the previous world, where ultimately you will have your house built. But what would happen if you had an idea but stopped there? Would you have your house today? No, you would not. Would you have your house if you just daydreamed about it? It would be in your mind, but you and your family couldn't live in it. Imagine now that you paid an architect $5,000 and he gave you an incredible blueprint and set of plans. Would you have your house? Only on paper. Once you define your blueprints, then and only then can you build a house. Each step is extremely necessary and vital to your creation. This is how the laws of creation work. The Kabbalist understands these precious laws. How many times do we pray, but we never put any action into proving our life? We have to get off our butt and understand that these precious laws must be put into practice. This makes the Kabbalah an extremely practical path. Whether you are pursuing a degree in college or wanting to go to an exotic place for your next vacation, these simple laws must be taken step by step. You can dream of going to Hawaii or Fiji in your mind, but unless you actually take a plane there, your dream won't be fulfilled. Most people never plan out their lives. They kind of live moment by moment. But can you imagine how your life would change if you had a daily plan, a monthly plan, a year plan, a 5-year plan, and a 10-year plan? This is where your life totally changes. Most Fortune 500 companies and the brains behind them have these kind of plans. How come the majority of people don't? We were never taught. If you take just this piece of advice from this book, your life will totally change. Understand that many people who are extremely successful understand this and follow these laws of creation. Everything from the sun being created in the star to the credit to the stars in the sky to a baby being born goes through this process of creation. By doing this, these simple things, your life will be empowered. You were given the right to create your life in harmony with the universe. By following these simple steps, you are on the road to living a better life. So my suggestion to you is to take a look at where you are now and put on paper exactly what you want and make the necessary plans. Develop the plan for the day, month, year, 5-year, and 10-year. Look at all areas of your life, such as your career, your romantic life, improving your emotional life, your spiritual life, your communication with others, your family and your friends. Look at every nook and cranny of your life and make a plan. Then each and every day, put your plan into action. Imagine if I had the idea to write this book, but I never took action. You would have never read this book. This is where most people stop. They go through the entire process of creation, and yet they stop at the point of action. No wonder we are where we are. We must take action. The law of manifestation. Now let's get a little deeper and talk about the universal law of manifestation. These are universal laws which unfortunately mankind has not been aware of yet. They have been studied and applied by the ancient and wise ones. As we talked earlier, modern day science understands that our entire life is an orchestra by that unconscious mind. Our external life is a direct reflection of our unconscious beliefs. In order to change, we must reprogram our negative unconscious thought patterns. These thought patterns are pieces of code, or speaking as a computer program, bugs in our source code of life. The human being has been hardwired directly to access the greatest computer in the universe, our unconscious mind. You're literally having in your own hands the power of the whole universe inside of you. You can literally change your life. You can literally learn how to reprogram your life. I've been a software engineer for over 25 years, and every program you design will have some sort of bugs. Yet, you don't get frustrated and confused. For every bug, you learn how to reprogram it so there's no longer a bug. After a period of time testing out the program, it is ready for production. I remember building a dome automation program for the observatory in Maui. When I first started working there in the early 1990s, they would have a person in the middle of winter on a high mountain wearing a snowsuit. This person would hold in his hand a device which would control the dome openings to be in alignment whether the telescope was pointing in the sky. In other words, you didn't want the telescope to point out to a place where the dome was blocking its view. Anyway, to make a long story short, I was brought all along with someone else to automate the whole process. What I absolutely love about developing software is you start out with nothing. From nothing, over time and effort, a computer program is developed. The software engineer is the creator of the program. In the past 25 years, I developed programs for the military, city hall, police department, insurance industry, brokerage firms, and many others. You are probably thinking, what does this have to do with my life? I'm not a software engineer. I don't like computers. Yet just stop and think for a moment. When you were born, you started out with nothing. You were pure and innocent. You had a clean slate. Yet, as we start to grow, we began to program ourselves and get conditioned by the world. The world around us started to program our subconscious mind. Over time, we developed attitudes and attained certain kinds of conditions that did not meet our true purpose. Instead of learning at a young age that we are our own software designers, we have forgotten that we have any say in the matter. This is called a reactive being. We're constantly reacting to circumstances in our life. We are never quite peaceful. We are always a little on edge. We feel that our life may be totally out of control, or maybe you follow the social conventions to a T, yet your life is boring. So consequently, over time, we lose touch of the capabilities to learn how to program your life. We are like a broken record repeating the same thing over and over. We spend millions of dollars on drugs and millions of dollars going to the various kinds of doctors, yet we've forgotten how we have the power to change ourselves. We have all the solutions inside of us. For thousands of years, the Kabbalists have understood these basic principles. They have learned and have been trained to change the unconscious mind. They understand that the mind is infinite and has infinite possibilities and infinite gifts. As human beings, we are just skimming the surface of understanding of the mind. The mind is the power. Conquer the mind and you will conquer the power. This is not a power where you can control others and fight among people who don't have the same views you have. This is the power of infinite love, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, patience, and happiness. In order to conquer your mind, you must cultivate these divine qualities. The more you cultivate these qualities, the more you will bring forth greater and greater manifestations in your life. Remember that God wants you to be happy. God wants you to be healthy. God wants you to be prosperous. God wants you to succeed. God wants you to be enlightened. The human mind can change. Now is the time to hold your reins and start to follow these basic laws. The Kabbalists have known these secrets for thousands of years. You were meant to be a co-creator. Now's the time to accept the truth of the universal laws. Barbara's divine words. Many of us have manifested in our lives. A lot of times it's been something we just had a fleeting thought about. Often we have manifested through our determination, focus, and hard work to achieve what we wanted. So what is stopping you from having everything you want? What are your thoughts? Are they always positive? That negative self-talk is your unconscious mind. In order to manifest your destiny, you must first clean out the old negative patterns to create space to replace them with what you want. We learned in the law of science different techniques for quieting the mind. Some may choose also to do this in the stillness of prayer. Others may choose to go out in nature and sit by a stream or on a bench or under a tree and just close your eyes and relax and let yourself listen to the sounds of nature, maybe even the song of a bird. I found with focus the other thoughts in my mind that sometimes have seemed like they are on a constant fast-forward motion. The mind chatter may start to go. In order to change your mind, first, you must be able to get control over your mind and thoughts and chatter. From the time we were born, we have been subjected, introduced to all different kinds of stimuli. We learn how to function, operate in this life form, our parents, those around us, our immediate environment, and outside stimuli of everything from stories to music to television, school, and now even computers. We may not even be consciously aware of how all of these stimuli are being absorbed by us in our unconscious and then replayed out in the lives that we are living. It becomes more apparent when we start to take a close look at ourselves and our lives. What really drives us in life? Are we truly happy with our lives, our jobs, our relationships, our homes, how we spend our time? These are important questions to ask to start discovering whose lifestyle you are living and why, in order to manifest your destiny and make changes in your life. First, you must discover what you want. Before you start fresh, you must clean the slate of your life. This includes a cleansing for all past experiences that may not have been the highest good for all involved, including yourself and others. This is where the law of self-approval comes in. Before you can approve of something, you must first begin by forgiving everything and everyone in your life from the point of your birth entry on earth for any and all hurt or wrongdoing everyone in your life from the point of your birth entry on earth for any and all hurt or wrongdoings, whether deliberate or unintentional, and forgiving yourself for any hurt or wrong you may have been involved with, and ask forgiveness for all of us for anything you may have done to others which needs forgiving. For the ancient Hawaiians, this was called the Ho'oponopono, and even included all ancestors, and was necessary in order to be able to be one with and in communion with all of life. Is it worth holding on to what makes you unhappy? Holding on and not forgiving is not just hurting another, it is hurting you. Is it making you happy or just holding you back? It is not necessary to contact directly everyone involved in your past. You can do this by creative visualizations. Close your eyes and picture a beautiful neutral ground or place like a meadow out in nature. Imagine yourself in that meadow, and seated across from you is someone you need to forgive for something that you felt was wrongfully to you. See yourself as that person and let them talk and explain themselves to you if you feel this is necessary. When you have had enough and express yourself, if this helps you to let it out, then you can look at them and say, I forgive you, and I forgive myself for any part I may have played in this. Let the issues release and clear. Start from the time you're little and do this technique with everyone you can remember. Also, as you proceed through your life with this technique, also look at any times you may have intentionally or unintentionally caused harm or hurt to another. Put them across from you in the meadow and discuss and forgive all, asking their forgiveness for what they have done. You may find during this process a desire or a need to clean up the air with someone. If and when this is possible, you may do this. However, in situations where this may not work, you can use the visualization to clear for both of you. You are not required to have a face-to-face direct contact in order for this to work. This technique is effective for clearing lack of self-approval through guilt, unworthiness, blame. In order to have self-approval, you must clear these issues. You are doing a life review and taking stock of yourself. You are clearing being the victim, self-sacrifice, as well as your own guilt for your own past actions. You are realizing the preciousness of all life. Love thy neighbor as thyself. How do you love yourself? By approving of yourself, and thus by giving yourself self-love. You can then apply that to all others, your neighbor. The law of self-approval involves self-love. How can you manifest if you don't approve of ourselves? This technique helps to clear out what is in our subconscious mind that is blocking or preventing us from realizing our dreams and aspirations. Many of us have manifested in our lives. A lot of times it's been something we just had a fleeting thought about. I remember when our daughter was little and she wanted something that not only had been manufactured for 10 years, but was a limited edition then. She was very young and did not understand she may not get what she wanted. The very next day, we were driving back from the grocery store and saw a garage sale sign with balloons on it. Our daughter loved to go to these sales. We used to go often in Hawaii to pick up children's books. It was a great recycling resource for parents on the island. As we walked up, our daughter went over to a box and pulled out the discontinued item she had wanted. It was in perfect condition and even had the original limited edition number tag still on it. How often have you felt you had a fleeting thought and then it came to be quickly? Often these are things we are not totally attached to, so they were easy to let go of, so manifestation could occur. If we could do this thing, what do you think we can accomplish if we truly set our mind to it? Often we manifest through our determination, focus, and hard work to achieve what we wanted. So what is stopping you from becoming everything you want? What are your thoughts? Are they always positive? That negative self-talk is coming from your unconscious mind. In order to manifest your dreams, you must clear out the old negative patterns in your subconscious, unconscious mind to create space to replace them for what you truly want. You need to clean out the old and replace it with new positive thoughts. How much time a day do you focus on what you want in your life? Are you busy mentally rehashing prior situations and events ongoing over what you have to do in the future? How often are your thoughts present just in the now? What you focus on, you can create more of. Where is your focus? It's time to take inventory of yourself. The law of prayer, the law of gratitude, the law of devotion. Most people agree that there is something greater than them that created everything, that keeps everything alive. Some essence, creator, whether you call it God, Allah, existence, or however you chose to see this in your life. The law of prayer allows one to establish a direct phone conversation with this creator. In this state, you primarily talk and they listen. Prayer has been used as such an incredible tool for time immemorial. How can one talk about the glorious connection between ourselves and the heavenly realms? The more one prays, and the more we put into practice this sacred wisdom, the more the law of prayer becomes a part of your life. Your life becomes a sacred prayer. In this state, one desires for the love, compassion, happiness for every living being. One's heart is open and begins to pray for all life, for all beings to truly be happy and cared for. Each and every moment is a precious prayer. This is a state of awareness. Praying keeps one humble and focused on the path. It keeps us simple. By praying, it puts us into our childlike innocence of life. We see through the eyes of a child. We become innocent and pure. This is the power of prayer. Miracles do happen all the time. I have seen hundreds of prayers being answered, especially when a group has focused on a certain person or event. Our thoughts of kindness and helping out are carried throughout the world. Kindness is truly the answer on this planet. We all pray in different ways and in different manners, but it's all the same. It's time for us to see that everyone on this planet wants to be happy. Everyone wants a family, a home, and food on the table. Nobody truly wants to fight and experience pain. It's time for us to put down our arms and embrace our fellow man. This time is now. I know I'm not alone in this. There are millions of people just like you and me praying for peace on earth. It will happen, no doubt about it. Each and every day, we're helping the world through our prayers and our daily practice. Each religion prays in a different way, but the essence is the same. We all want heaven on earth. We all want this world to truly live in peace. The law of prayer is a way to directly change the course of events in our own personal lives and the world around us, but also the world at large. By our thinking and our convictions through prayer, we can change this world. Over time, we began to see that through action and going through the 4 worlds of creation, our prayers are being answered. We can literally change this world step by step, day by day, year by year. We can influence the leaders all around the world by praying for peace, by praying that they may understand that peace is the way, peace is the solution, peace is what the world needs. How incredible through the internet the prayers of peace are broadcast around the world. Prayer is a means to communicate what we need, and the power of silence will answer our prayers. We are all so precious. There was a time I didn't see the importance of prayer. I really didn't see the value of it. I wasn't brought up in that environment. But over time, I started to learn how to meditate. I began to see what a golden opportunity we have. The law of prayer allows us through words to express ourselves to our Divine Mother and Father. It is a precious communication to talk directly to the source of life and express gratitude. For those who are suffering, it brings comfort to ourselves, knowing that someone truly cares for us and wants us to be happy and content. Our prayers truly do get answered, but at times we don't understand. Every day I wake up to thank my Creator for giving me another day to experience life to its fullest. The law of prayer has empowered my life and made me much more compassionate and caring on a day-to-day level. I am grateful to be alive. The more I pray, I realize that the entire creation prays on some deep level. There will never be a time when one stops praying. Even the angels and archangels pray. The law of prayer exists in all life. Life is grateful to be alive. Prayer is part of nature. Nature always is evolving and learning. Nature prays to the Creator for the ever unfolding and discovery of life. This process has been unfolding forever. The world will be in a better place if every day we stop even for a moment to pray and cultivate kindness and love for one another. Each of us prays in our own individual ways. Let's honor all religions and traditions. It is time to see the diversity of all life and see that what your neighbor is praying for is probably the same. Our nations around the world pray for peace. Let's bring a unified state of awareness on this planet that peace is the way. The law of prayer and the law of manifest destiny must work together in order to have most of your prayers answered. In praying, you ask for something to the divine. In order for it to manifest, the law of manifest destiny must be fulfilled. This is why it's extremely important to understand these sacred laws. Only by changing your subconscious mind and performing right actions can your prayers be fulfilled. Prayers aren't like rubbing a bottle and a genie will appear. You must ask and then go through the process of idea, thought plan, and action to make your prayers come true. It's a day-by-day process of refining yourself to these sacred laws. Most people complain that their prayers don't come true, yet what they've done to help them succeed. There's a process that must take place. By waiting around for a prayer to be answered will never help matters. You must have the conviction to ask and then make the appropriate actions in your life by following the law of manifestation. If you are praying for help for yourself or someone else, then take steps to assist in the healing. An angel may show up to assist in a miraculous healing of someone. Another may manifest the perfect doctor to help them heal. Also pray for those who are helping with the healing process, including the doctors or surgeons, to receive the greatest guidance and to have the surest hands for healing. If you want and pray for world peace, then turn your life around and make a peace reality in your life. We must have peace in our own hearts and our own lives in order to spread it outward to others. Live your life in a day-to-day manner when you spread peace and kindness throughout your daily life. As the Dalai Lama said, kindness is my religion. If each and every one of us took this responsibility personally and not waited for our political institutions to develop a plan for world peace, we would have greater world peace. Peace has to come from within. Peace in experience, which must be cultivated. Peace is infinite. So I hope that you have a better understanding of the law of prayer and how you need to take proper actions. When I was a child, I never learned this. I never learned this in Sunday school. I was taught to pray, but I never knew how the law of prayer operated. Most of our prayers don't manifest because we don't know these sacred laws. No wonder people have a tendency to give up. So much of the time we pray and nothing happens. Well, now is the time to utilize these laws in your life for your own betterment and the world around you. It truly is the time to transform yourself. You don't have to believe in God to change. These are natural laws that exist between time and space in the seen and unseen world. A person doesn't have to follow a certain religion for these laws are beyond our religion. This is the building blocks of life. Hopefully, this gives you a greater understanding of the law of prayer. Barbara. As a child, Barbara was raised in a family environment steeped in religion and prayer. My grandmother would go to a church at least once or twice a day and pray the rosary every night. Seeing her devotion from an early age, I also learned to have my own direct devotional connection with God. When I pray sincerely, intently, and humbly, I would feel the sense of peace and love come over me. I assumed it was God. Devotion became a way of life for me. Somewhere along the way, I discovered that one could actually think your whole life as a prayer of gratitude. You can allow yourself to see the beauty in life. Even taking a walk in nature, you can allow yourself to see the magnificent diversity and variety of life and be grateful to the Creator of life for such beauty. Prayer can become as simple as being thankful for every breath you breathe. Practical actions. Pray every day. It doesn't matter if you believe in God or not. Your subconscious mind will pick it up. Praying allows you to go to the next level in the video game of life. Remember, through prayer, you pray and God listens. Meditate daily. In this silent, God talks while you listen. Remember, when you pray, you must take action. Check out the law of manifestation again. Daily, take out the negative weeds that are growing. Forgive yourself and all others. Pray that you truly are a piece of the puzzle. You want the very best for yourself and the world. Pray daily for those who need help in any way. We are on the same boat of life. Put your prayers into action. Always give gratitude. Be thankful for what you have and receive. Count your blessings. Pray for guidance every day. May the wicked become good. May the good obtain peace. May the peaceful be free from bonds. May the free set others free. Prayer of a Bodhisattva. What is the purpose of life? Is it to eat, drink, and be merry? There's nothing wrong with that. But what is the purpose? Does life have meaning? Or do we just live a 9-to-5 existence? Does life only begin and end on the weekends? Do we work just to make money? Can money buy happiness? Are we lost or are we found? Is life an event? Or do we just live in a random cycle of events? The wise man says, first understand what life is, and then you will understand everything. The law of silence. For thousands of years, there have been a few who truly discovered that silence is golden. Silence is worth more than any earthly treasure. By being truly silent, all the unknown mysteries come to life. In true silence, one discovers what is truly keeping you alive. In the past, those who truly wanted silence moved far out from the cities and the daily activities of life. What were they looking for, and what did they find? Today, noise is everywhere. People have lost awareness of the true significance of being silent. How many people do you see walking around with headphones, listening to music, or driving their cars, talking on their cell phones? During the last 100 years, we have been moving away from the field of silence. We are so accustomed to outer and inner noise that we have forgotten our true nature. Our minds are constantly on the go. There's constant chatter going on within and outside in our environment. No wonder our bodies and minds are tired. We're constantly being bombarded by sound and external noise. Our present-day culture does not understand the law of silence. This law has not been understood by the common person. If one understood the law and had a practical experience, even for 1 second, a person's life would change. The mind and body is constantly agitated at a subtle level. It really isn't quite at ease. Consequently, over time, disease occurs. Silence is a way to return back to the source where you came from. It was and will always be. The whole universe is alive, and silence allows an individual to day by day dive deeper into the vast ocean of life. This is where true wisdom and experience beyond any words come from. The more a person experiences this silence, the more one desires to change one's personal life to listen more at a deeper and deeper level. The level goes on forever. It's like an endless ocean, and the deeper you dive, you realize that there are no boundaries in this ocean. All the seen and unseen worlds come from this silence. It's amazing that our human body is hardwired for this experience, but somehow along the way, we turned off the switch. We have been so engrossed in this world that we have forgotten our true nature. Nowadays, people think that only the monks need silence, or that by being silent, one loses out in life. Silence is seen more as a state of boredom or a state of one renouncing the world. This could be further from the truth. When one truly becomes silent and enters into that ocean, one truly becomes alive and aware. From that state, one then returns with a greater level of awareness and appreciation of life. This awareness spills out into every nook and cranny of one's existence. One's true nature becomes alive, and one realizes that all of life is in perfect harmony, but man isn't. True silence brings one to truly live life to the fullest. Every day is a brand new day, and one loves to be truly alive. By being silent, one realizes and returns to the harmony of life. This is your true nature. One does not have to leave this world to be in the state of silence. One can have this in the middle of New York City and still daily enter the law of silence. It doesn't matter how much noise is on the outside. One can go within and experience the world of silence. Over time, a person embodies that law, and every day goes deeper and deeper within. Over time, every single cell reflects that silence, and the body and mind is peaceful. Over time, it just takes less than 1 second to enter into that point of consciousness. In the beginning, it takes effort and practice. Anyone who first learns to meditate will tell you then that they never realize how much chatter the mind produces. It goes on and on and on. The mind will tell you and dictate your life to not go into the silence. It will produce a to-do list that will never give you in a normal conscious state. It really is the hardest thing in the universe to train your mind. It seems very easy, which it is, but our lives are so complicated. We have lost touch of the yearning that comes from within. Our mind constantly is looking outside of our very own essence for happiness. So where do we start? What tools do we have? What will it cost me? As I said before, we are hardwired for that experience. This experience is keeping you alive. For thousands of years, we have searched in the four corners of this world for this experience. Well, guess what? The whole time it existed inside of you. How's that for a laugh? I can imagine you saying that it can't be true, then where is it? I've been alive for so many years and I haven't found it. You got to be kidding. All the great teachers who once walked the earth said that the kingdom of heaven is within. Through the law of silence, one may walk through that door. It's like having a radio channel but no tuning to it. The music exists, the channel exists, but you are not tuned to that frequency. By applying the law of silence, one becomes in tune into the channels of life. Not just your life, but all of life in the seen and the unseen worlds. So the more you practice, the more one begins on a daily basis to fine-tune oneself to this precious channel of life. In this state, you will truly rejoice and have a deeper appreciation for all life. You will eventually overcome all the pettiness in your life. You will still have your daily life, but it will be at such an incredible level. Your negative baggage in your life would disappear over time. So tell me, what is the step? What can I do? It's as simple as breathing. It really is. Recently, the Buddhists released one of their sacred doctrines to the West. This doctrine is so simple in telling you the steps to enlightenment that they figured the Western mind would say it's too easy. In fact, they are right. It involves meditating on your breath. That's the whole technique. Yet, by being aware of your breath, will bring you to the state of enlightenment. At first, the mind says, that's too easy. The secret to life and to silence must be more difficult. But it isn't. Behind your breath, you realize that the whole universe is breathing. It is a doorway to life itself. All of life's mysteries and what you're truly looking for exists behind your breath. This is the law of silence. By listening and paying attention to your breath in and out, you slowly begin to enter into the silence. Each day you enter into this silence, you return with a greater awareness, and your body and mind begins to infuse itself with this precious state of awareness. Over time, you begin to see that entering the silence or the state of meditation isn't only for 5 to 10 minutes a day by the time you spend meditation, but the state eventually will be constant, where one's awareness is at all times aware. Imagine being in the sun, the moon, and the stars, and walking around in a human body. Do you think in that state you would care about your petty problems? You would be a beacon of light. In that state, you would have nothing to prove. This is where the law of silence can take you. We have had examples of the Christ or Buddha who attained that supreme state. They knew how to conquer the mind and enter into the silence, and they became it. This is our true nature and state of awareness. It is not some far-fetched notion. Throughout the ages, there have been a few who figured this out and wanted to share this precious wisdom with the world. Back then, they were usually scorned and ridiculed, while during this age, there are literally millions of people just like you and me, waiting to discover and put into practice this sacred wisdom. It is beyond religion. You don't have to change your religion. All we are saying is that entering the silence is what religion is talking about. You want a practical experience. I'd rather taste the mango than to read about a mango from a book. By entering into the law of silence, one tastes the divine fruit that exists within. Imagine the whole universe is breathing, and so are you. Yet, we have forgotten this precious state of existence. It's about time to come home. Your true mother and father are calling you. The law of silence will show you through prayers. You talk while God listens. In silence, God replies while you listen. Practical actions. Meditate twice a day, even if it's just for 5 minutes each. Pay attention towards your breath. Slowly increase the time. Go to the library and check out books on meditation. Get educated on the various kinds. Take a meditation class. Pay attention to your breath in your everyday activities. Go to a meditation retreat or a weekend. Sit still and listen. Inside the silence lies such peace. A wave of bliss is about to release. The secret of creation lies between your eyes. Behold a light more beautiful than anything in this world. This light is pure love, ready to take you on a ride. Surfers ride the waves of the ocean, while the wise man rides the waves of life. Imagine riding the waves of life. Behind our breath lies the answer. Divine music will accompany you. The mind becomes drunk on this bliss, yet this intoxication is medicine to the soul. For eons of time, man has explored. Buddha, the Christ, and many more have told their story. Behold, the kingdom of God lies within. It doesn't matter if you are a saint or a sinner. We all have the same opportunity to go back home. All it takes is one small step after another. Sit still and listen. The answer to this riddle is found by this easy step.